Fracture to kick
Okay,
it
let's
off,
get this one
and
started.
then finishing on a
Let's
Lotus.
get this one
You couldn't
started.
ask for much more. But we're not back in the past. We're not in those days, and Heretics have looked in form as of right now.
Talking about the past, Stage 1, Upper Bracket Finals and Grand Final, this was the matchup going back to last year. You've
Got a
just seen the
trap
stat
on
pop up
Dish.
there,
Oh.
70%
Okay, Fnatic on
win
defense,
rate when it
Heretics
comes to
on
their
attack.
opponent's map picks for Team Heretics.
And
of course,
a
this is
lot of
Fnatic's
play
take.
over
Let's
towards
see if
Dish,
that
and as they're
stat is
fighting
gonna
over towards
confirm
Dish and
and
get
harm
some
here
kind of
today.
resistance,
Fnatic
they
on the
speed up
defense,
over towards A
getting
main.
aggressive, and it's
Dude,
Kayak
Kayak
with a
has to be the best
double
pistol
opening
player in the
flash.
world right
Helped him
now.
out for the
It's
second, but
crazy
the
how
first
many
was all
multi-kills
his.
this guy gets in a
Little bit of
pistol.
space taken by Heretics in response, but a 5v2 that they're now left in.
Yeah, they did I think they did the exact same thing in the pistol versus Liquid. This aggressive defensive side push, and has left Miniboot in an almost
Pistol merchant? He
possible
actually is,
position,
though.
But bear in mind,
It's ridiculous.
Miniboot, when you talk about statistics, when you talk about ACS, this has been the guy throughout the season that's been able to take rounds home in scenarios that never should have been. But this crossfire should be impossible. But the first one comes cleanly.
Dude, that's such
The
a
next
shot.
two might be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, there's still some room for this to swing back in the favor of Team Heretics. A strong squad when it comes to that pistol round win rate. See if it can be converted by the crossfire in play. Chronicles contact and the swing from Crashy's down below.
Oh my god, imagine it. Imagine it. Okay, shout out to Kayak, because once again he's solo on a pistol, really. Double entry. Util was nice, obviously,
as I was
but
saying during the round, this is something that we saw from them last time out when they played Fracture, this very aggressive stance when it comes to Dish and the pistol round, and I think it's something that Kayak just thrives in. You set him up, you put him in positions, and he's going to put up those numbers. Now that game did obviously slip into absolute turmoil, coming down to Boaster having to save them, so we'll see if that's going to be the case here, because I think for Fnatic,
yeah, they're allowed
to
to
a strong
deaths.
start on Fracture is going to be fairly important.
Without a doubt, Team Heretics, they've come in and given them that opportunity at least. It will be a light buy.
We got one sheriff, that's it.
Playing the orbs early on,
Just trying to make sure they can get an
all
ult early on.
On the B side, sitting outside, you've got two players.
I like this from Fnatic.
Keeping
Reaction to pushing, or getting pushed over towards Dish, go over towards A main, you drone out, we take the orb as well. They clear all of this, they spot the camera, they break the camera.
If that sheriff is given a chance, we know just how dangerous around this can be when the pack is facing you. For Fnatic, it'll be all about avoiding that danger, and I think they're doing a great job. Just looking at B, there's one player passive and a 3-man southside push, a lot of space taken in response.
Yeah, they have so much.
Dude, they're really trying to get as many orbs as they can. I wonder if anyone's pressing tab from Heretics here and they know that they're here. Yeah, they did. But they jumped out.
Saying that, Rians is the first to take a duel, but Chronicle at range should have them dead to rights. Obviously not wanting to overface, but here's the steps coming and just farming up those orbs. Eventually he's going to get
Dude, they're losing a lot of players. Dude, they have the worst guns. Oh dear God.
But this is all falling apart.
Boaster's got a chance. Still gonna hurt the economy.
Holy. Dude, Fnatic get punished with this quite a lot, right? Where they do the FPX buy on defense. Everyone in EMEA is trying it recently and everyone's getting absolutely wrecked. I don't think we can be doing that. I think we've got to at least have a Marshal in there. It's definitely shout out to Heretics. They were on top of this orb getting taken as well. Like their peak to make sure they could get the first kill was really good. Like I'm pretty sure they either had sound cue or someone was pressing tab and relayed good info.
I think, yeah, Miniboot maybe as surprised as the rest of us, because that didn't look like a round.
It's another team that get punished for the FPX buy and defense. I don't know why. Dude, I'm going to start calling it the EMEA buy, to be honest. We got the NA buy and attack. I might start calling it the EMEA buy. It's rough.
I guess it doesn't matter. I guess the Classic is a much better gun than I'm giving it credit for.
Fnatic coming into this game at least the best anti-eco team in the league. Well, that statistic just took a big hit in a big game as well. Trying to fight back with an eco of their own. And at least for now, it looked good. A Classic found the opening.
Big stack here.
Shows the Guardian.
Definitely Miniboot can start taking a time.
The reward, well,
which is worse, the NA buy, the EMEA buy? Dude, I think I hate the EMEA buy more.
Moving into the A site though, filling in a lot of space here.
It doesn't make sense to do the FPX buy on defense. I feel like I've literally explained it like 20 times on stream before. Just because all your players are isolated, like this stuff kind of happens, right? Where they get the guns and then the worst people are of the people that are left have the worst guns.
Hold them into place, and it's not the prettiest of shots. Rians does well, but the spike has been dropped to the deck.
Dude, Crashies has done pretty good. Got a gun. They might get eco themselves. Went into the stack. Autumn Hand, thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate the 19 months. Dude, 20 seconds. That's an incredible stun though. It's an incredible stun on site. But like Fnatic actually did pretty good there as much as we were flaming their fast buy. They did also save enough money to make sure they can get an op if they want to have an op.
Yeah, they make that one a little bit costly. That's the problem, is that you look at this from Fnatic's perspective, you go, okay, you did a bit of damage. In the round that you have, it's not too bad, but when you consider how things went, and the economy is obviously, even with those 2 guns only being saved, for Heretics is still building up. You're going to have the Armageddon available as well for Woot.
That was not easy, but we've...
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. It was not easy. Mitch the fellow with the 30 mums. Thank you so much, man. Of course, dude. It was fun. It was fun to. It was fun to do. The reverse dish. Oh, this time you do it on attack. I like the idea. That's not too bad, especially on a big buy round. I think it's worth going for the risk of this one. Again, most people do it on some kind of trap play on defense, but using the same similar error to do it on attack is pretty cool.
I don't think Benji's gonna have any idea that he's here, and it's not the prettiest of shots, but
they still get a sight. They still get a sight. They still get a plant. Boo's going for a bit of a play. That's a great shot.
Above the smoke onto Mini Boo, and now the numbers in Fnatic's favor. The weaponry there, the ult's online, and it's the neural theft.
Good luck, Boo. You got a frag heavy, mate.
Shots though, just not landing. And a Rolling Thunder in response is going to slow down that main take.
Dude, imagine Boo gets this other duel. Imagine he wins this other duel.
Chronicle may well have heard those steps as he swung out wide, and with Boo tagged low, this round can easily fall apart for Heretics.
Oh my god, he did so much.
Out in the middle of the open. And he will find one on low HP. That's as solid as you could hope for, but Woot being rooted leaves Riens alone. The last man standing, players all around, but he isolates it to just Chronicle. The time ticking.
Holy bro, Riens and Boo played this so well.
A Red Bull clutch for
double ult. Invested a lot, double ult, but it pays off.
I think we've heard it from so many players throughout the league so far that who's the best player? And you look towards like the star duelist, maybe a Kayak, a Mini Boo.
Yeah, Riens looks like a nightmare to play against.
The safest pair of hands in these sort of
he's looking like one of the closest we've seen to
Leo,
to be honest.
This was someone where you sort of look at him, look how old he is as a player, and that is experience beyond his years, with just how calm, collected, and easy he made that look.
Top of the other team.
Yeah, well, you know he's absolutely sending it with this one.
Looking on as his friend of old outshines him here at least to start out Fracture. Heretics, 70%.
Dude, Alpha always plays in this smoke.
Alpha fired up inside of main.
Look at what's going on. That's crazy. He did pretty good. I still think the Heretics did great though to make sure they can kind of time out this ult.
Managing to pack quite a punch. Boaster's taken down one. The numbers are somehow in Fnatic's favor.
Dude, where are we? I feel like every POV is just eating the smoke.
Outside push from A main. Well, it bought them a bit of space. But that orbital strike takes it right back into Heretics' favor. 2v3.
Yeah, he'd normally want to save that close, but they desperately needed that extra space. With
This is interesting. This is pretty smart from them.
Benji will win the fight that takes
One making a lot of sound cues over towards spawn that you're going to be hearing from underpass, and then one just waiting for them to react with their knife out. It's a nice idea.
Might actually get an early fight. Chronicle has managed to slip the net
Chronicle's owned it.
I don't know if he's going to check it.
Really nice from Chronicle. Very early here as well.
On the other side.
I mean, Alpha just did a lot,
maybe a little earlier than expected as that low buy succeeded.
Yeah, I think Chronicle might have just heard the very end of the reload as he was walking into main, realized that you're not going to win in that head-to-head battle a lot of the time, but yeah, taking him down from the side, nothing he could do. 3-2. Fnatic, this is a round that they needed early on. We talked about getting off to a good start, and it looked like they were there with the pistol under their belt. But
what is that?
It's a nasty
There's a chaotic round.
The game's so desperately close here, and it's done absolutely
Chronicle,
perfect.
yeah, Chronicle is very fast for this one.
Still, that player goes down to 16.
They're also lost. Like, I'm walking to walk around. What is going on?
We got to see that POV just in and out of the smoke.
Okay, a lot of
But
ults for this one.
eventually, yeah, he was
We
caught
got
by
1,
Mini
2,
Boo.
3, 4 that
Heretics
can't buy
right back
next.
on
You
the horse over the
definitely
full buy.
want to see all of these ults from Fnatic, or at least like 2 out of 3.
Ults firmly in the favor of Fnatic though. This is where they could look to build, but
Nice from Alpha, not giving him a set
overplay
Joe.
their hand,
The
especially
full
Alpha
retake
here.
setup of B, by the
This
way, got
round
double
with
kill,
full
trip,
setup
1 camera.
available. Trying to make sure they don't get anything
Another
for
reaction
free.
pushing aggro over towards A once they lose some kind of map control.
We talked about confidence issues in the past, wanting to see him get off to a good start. Of course, up against Kayak, he has been shut
Gonna
down
get a
in
little
week
weird
5 when
if
played each
they
other.
don't
It
actually
was the
make it
Kayak
onto
show.
site with the smokes
Now
down.
his opportunity for redemption up against the man himself. Benji Fishy is caught in the corner. Finds
Dude,
himself
3
one
Jills
anyways,
happening at
and
the same
a little
time,
bit of
it's a
extra
nightmare.
info. Cage trying to keep himself alive. Rian's at least able to
76,
trade
I
it
thought it'd
out,
be lower than
keeping
this.
favor in Team Heretics camp, but the spike still needs to be planted. And Crashies is here waiting for that
Grape
cross.
Badger, thank you so much for the
Now, though,
25
it seems like they
months, mate.
might be
Appreciate the tier 1.
expecting the rotation. Alphair steps away from the site, leaves Crashies alone, and maybe they don't want this fight. Heretics could get a free plant. In fact, they get a free pick onto Alphair. I don't think those shots were meant
Now, this
for
is
him.
pretty impressive from Heretics, so how calm they were with the no smokes are going over towards site. They pretty much just wait. They like just waited for Fnatic to overstep, and they did. Ike gaming with the tier 3. Holy bro, 26 months tier 3. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, mate.
Holds so much more value.
Dude, this is do you know what this reminded me a lot of? You know when you take over towards B on Ascent and you kind of chill by the boathouse and the switch to close the door on B. This is what it was like. It's like it should be an uncomfortable position for Heretics, but they made it look very comfy. They just held map control and just waited for some kind of reaction.
Was not having a good time.
Yeah, no, he was decimating the rest of the squad. You look at the stats back in that game. I think Boaster might have landed 1 shot on him. Like, he seemed invulnerable in a lot of those fights until he came up against Kayak. That's where it was a complete difference, night and day. And you can see Miniboo definitely off to that strong start, the confidence builder, getting aggressive, being the point of contact through those smokes. Of course, there's utility to back him up.
Yeah, Sonya, not too bad. I could go again.
I only could one, but thank you.
Oh, he's getting old, needing those stretches.
This one was a short one. I guess a longer one now.
Hands of time, man. They're unforgiving.
Oh. Boaster's another
But it was good.
highlight as well. He's had a good
Okay, some
season
kind of trap
individually.
play with the camera, but they pretty much just dodged it early. They don't get too much from this.
Maybe having to focus a little bit
Okay,
more
I
on
mean
how
Chronicle's
aggressive
just
some of these plays can be.
spamming straight for a
Chronicle,
smoke.
though, ready and waiting. Always been one of his best maps over on.
Dude, do they have no idea this guy's on site?
For now, at least, they have the opening advantage.
Oh, that timing
Okay, they
perfect
definitely
there.
had no
Don't
idea he
swing.
was on
Alphair
site.
took
Look
a
at
while
that
to
swing
get
from
there. He's a
Alpha.
little quicker. Swinging onto Boo, though. Benji Fishy.
This
Only
is
got
a
one
if
last round.
Fnatic lose
Wasn't
this.
happy with that. Steps up for a
Oh my
second,
god.
but not quite the third.
I was gonna
It's
say, if Fnatic
Alphair
lose
to
this,
take
I think
it
the map's
across the
done.
line. Putting just
Don't wanna
Rian's
overreact,
up
but
against the rest. They know
this would be a
exactly
devastating
where he
round
is.
to
He's
lose.
tripping wires. He's caught by the ult, and now he's in a fight with
God,
Kayak.
it's-
Not one that many
that's a
get
close
to
one.
live to tell the tale of. Another round for Fnatic, now just 1 away, but considering they came into this map winning the pistol round, they would have wanted a stronger start than this.
The EMEA trophy,
We're gonna need to
that
see
looks
them
really
string
nice.
together. I would say a
It looks
few
really,
rounds.
really
So
nice.
far they have
Pretty
a string
much the
together
best
too.
one we've seen so
The
far, I
interesting thing
think,
so far
for,
in
well,
this
at
map
least
is
the
I feel like they've been
stage
doing it
1 in the
rounds where
regions.
The purchases are actually a little bit weaker. They're a bit more aggressive.
America's
You
is
see
nice, but it's
Alpha
still the
actually
same one that
actively taking more fights
was
in
there
a lot of
last
these
time.
rounds, and that has been the difference maker. Because look, 9 and 6 on the board right now. When he's free
Okay, force
to
them
be
down to
aggressive,
eco.
it seems like Fnatic take over, and when he's having to
We
play
got the
around
classic.
that util a bit more,
In theory, Heaven's about to get
off
util
rip
dumped.
From Heretics. They're looking for aggressive space.
Yeah.
Much to Rian's chagrin, he goes down to the salvos in main.
Oh,
Quick
man.
trades back and forth. And it leaves Fnatic with the advantage. Fast rotations from that A site. We've seen this a couple times now. But Boo manages to find one with a classic. He's
Yeah,
going
the
to need a
Miss
little
Molly,
bit
right?
more, though, as he's now all alone.
got a lot of time to play with, but
He's got a lot
yeah,
of
the
time. There's guns to
unfortunate truth is
pick up here as well.
it's only the sidearm that sits in hand for now.
Can recover one here.
I think just wary of what ground has been taken.
In
They know where the
Heaven,
spike
yeah,
is.
I mean,
You're always going to be nervous.
I think
that
there was
any
too
of
much
these
stall
angles
over
could have
towards
a player
arcade,
sitting
so it
on them.
slowed down
We've
the
seen
Ampeo
Boaster
stuff.
still only has a stinger, by the way. Started the round with it. I think has got the majority of kills with it. But is waiting for the swing out from Chronicle. If he
Wait,
gets this kill, it could be a completely different story, knowing that his opponent was playing at range with an SMG.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time.
And now with Spike in hand, you can see Boaster's just standing in a position where he can hear any steps. If his opponent was to start running, he could make it quickly back to the A site. But they're already starting to doubt if Boo has made that move.
Yeah, they think that maybe he's shift walked all the way to that north side and is now coming down through Dish. Boaster moves into position. He's got the orbital strike to deny. 15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
Boo knows the ult's
gotta
up
run.
against. Gotta
Maybe
make a move.
Brimalt.
The plant is a tap 10 seconds, and the orbital strike comes into play.
Yeah,
He
it's
had
nicely
a
handled
chance
from
there
Fnatic
to rip
here.
both heads off, but a difficult fight.
I think Boo realized he had to go a little bit earlier there once the Brimalt was called as well. I mean, he at least got the Brimalt out of them on the eco.
Around again with a fair few weaknesses. A
He
nice
got body
setup.
blocked.
This is something that
Dude, they did their
I think
own
has
little
been challenged quite
stun
regularly
salvo over
by
towards
Fnatic,
Arcade.
is
Looks strong.
taking away that arcade control, making sure that teams can't execute through that
This
direction.
guy is smoking, bro.
Okay. Chronicle maybe not happy with the disrespect. I'm not sure.
Was the
but
Brimalt necessary?
it's
I
now
think you've
gonna
got to
be
do the
that
Brimalt there.
tactical timeout taken for Heretics. You said needing to build on that
1v2,
defensive
you want to
side.
make it
Fnatic have done that
convincing.
3 of the last 4
You don't want to give him
rounds.
an eco win.
But this is where not only the purchase comes back in for Heretics, but also you look at those ultimates. Already having the overdrive, Rolling Thunder close, Orbital Strike close as well, Armageddon just a couple away, and that's what can be the difference maker, because for Fnatic, there is nothing available.
Yeah, I mean, the orbital strike was there, right? But it was taken out of play in that last 1v2. You can see how desperate Fnatic were to get that round on the board, dispensing that, the respect that they're giving to their opponent as well. The stun, orbital strike, all that they had to work with. Now, when we talk about rifle rounds that we're about to see one play out in front of our eyes, these teams, Heretics #1, Fnatic #2 in the region, separated by just 1%. I mean, they are essentially the same when it comes to taking on opponents.
Yeah, big change up. After the timeout, they get the op here as well, and it's looking like
Yeah, the 8th worst.
Miniboo's going to have
doesn't
full
sound that
angle
bad, but
over
when you
towards
realise
B,
that
and they can
includes
keep the stack on A.
majority of teams in other regions. It's not the best, especially for a team that has always been known for a lot of those utility setups. You'd expect that on a map of their choice, they'd be strong in it. Pace change though coming in. Wow,
Nice chance.
He's been at the right place at the right time, dominating that B site. This time swaps to A, and already that's Miniboo
Yeah,
gone
and they
again.
might think after spotting the Cypher that they're full retake as well, which they kind of are now, but
Teammate Rianne's the one putting up those numbers, but Alpha very much leading the charge on the server in these last couple rounds.
oh dude, Alpha did so good again. He delayed for so long that the smokes faded, so they got the crossfire going. Dude, Alpha's doing great at just delaying majority of the time. There's been loads of times where there's some kind of smoke down, and all he has to do is just buy like 10 seconds.
Right now, and as said, you put him in the right place at the right time. He is definitely one of the hardest players to play against. I think maybe at kickoff, not quite having the form that would have been desired of someone who, well, we know can play at the very top level, at the very peak of it. But so far in this map, he has been the difference maker. And as said, like you're watching Miniboo try and run into these angles, try and get up in his face, but the immediate shots being connected, Fnatic's reads have been sublime.
It's always dangerous when you see Alpha here start to giggle and have a good time down on that stage. Some more brazen plays surely around the corner. Big stun on the Boaster. He's going to be caught again by Miniboo. Opening duel goes his way, but he's caught by Chronicle. Trade back, and it's only pistols now. That ultimate was the one thing to bridge the gap. The weapon inside that cage. Maybe
Dude, gets a little weird for Kayak on this.
And there it is, finally recovered by Benji.
Dude, look at Boo right now as well.
They've got a potential plant, but the spike goes back the
Tap
other
of
way.
the spike, everyone's falling back.
It's going to be an easier solution to this problem.
Dude, one of the
Fnatic's
weirdest rounds,
quick
this one.
rotations, and it has been left mostly open.
It's a absurd amount of space
Oh.
to be had by Kayak. It definitely creates some awkwardness with an operator. He needs to land the immediate shot. Benji gets
Nice
killed on
shot.
the other side, but Kayak
Dude, if that shot
as
goes the
well.
other way, then that's
Another
a
free
scary,
zone.
scary round.
And again, both teams
And it still
have had
kinda
relative
is.
success with these lower purchases, with both players now having guns, with a Rolling Thunder available. It's going to come down to the timing of what Kayak can get.
was a crazy cerebral round from Heretics to fake back to A, late play into B, but now they've got to finish their dinner. Left down to just the operator of Kayak. Damage done to Benji, but that doesn't matter with this weapon in hand.
You might have to
And he's
save
sent
it.
flying backwards by the Rolling Thunder. The clock here could prove to be as
Someone in his team might just have to go. It's okay, mate. Just save.
So much
Listen to the time.
Still a
Someone tell him.
and a big weapon in his hands. He's made the
Poor guy.
realization. This round
Dude,
cannot
okay,
be
big
won
round for
by
Heretics, man.
Kayak.
They only had
It's Team Heretics
had like what, 5
equalizing
sheriffs I
at
think
5
into
to
this one.
5. And the competitive series that we hope
Ended
we'd
a lot in
see
terms
here
of money.
today, well, it's materializing in front of
The
our
jobs I
eyes.
used to have before coaching,
obviously we
we
haven't
did
seen
observing was like our
much
main
of
thing. We
Heretics on this
did
map
event management,
whatsoever,
kind of
going all the
freelance
way
stuff
back
for a
to
little
kick
bit.
off. It's a pay safe card Thrifty. Another one, like I said, I think both teams with the low buys have been very
That's
effective.
pretty much it.
in
Kind
where
of
they
balanced
choose to
both
go
at
in
the
these
same time.
rounds, the sort of
But observing was the main
aggressive
one, like esports
start
wise.
to it, and then having these sort of late round lurks, these aggressive mid rounds. I'm liking the choices, the risks that are being taken by either side when they have pieces missing. In this round, at least, that won't be the case. Both teams again coming in with a buy, but I mentioned it. The ultimates have been really building up for the side of Heretics, and now they come in with an Armageddon orbital strike. If they get a plant, it's over. But it could
Anything
also be
outside of
used just to get
esports?
them the space
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
first place.
the kind of
well, one for
the events
one,
management
right?
stuff was the main thing.
When to
That
get
was
in
still
and
like
when to lock it
the
down
games
for
though.
Fnatic, a lot to worry
Just
about
like
in
running
those early
events for
fights. They're
Xbox,
looking
Call of
for this
Duty, and stuff
deep
like
A
that.
main aggression alongside that operator. It's going to lock
Games
down control for
comms,
them late into the round.
just
They
like,
still have to be worried about drop down though in that late play. And a much more
Mostly
passive
do
approach
some
to this B
G-Finning
side.
stuff.
Again, though, that comes off the back of seeing these ultimates, expecting an Armageddon to clear exactly the space that it's going into. No one needs to move on Fnatic. They were already set up for this. Those spams come desperately close to taking someone down. But in the end, Fnatic survived behind those smokes. In fact, Boaster gets in front of them, hoping
Damn, the
that Boo will
only
make a
place he could
mistake.
survive.
Denying this plant, though.
Oh, dude, Boo's ulting this guy. I was gonna say, Boo. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Boo's ult there, and I'm like, as soon as he realizes Boaster is here, this guy's getting ulted. Man, these backup cages from Benji are pretty sick.
Finally, that plant will come in. Retreat should be impossible, but actually, Boo manages to get away. There are a lot of tag players, though. Benji Fishy looking to hold on to the cross. Rian's already eliminated by Alpha.
I mean, all everyone has to do is just delay time so we can get his salvos back.
Looking to try and clear things together. They need to get this close position out, though. And Mini Boo's just looking to try and survive in the corner, just dancing with death. But he survives all the way back around.
Yeah, we have salvos.
Trying to clear him. That spike has been slowly ticking away. Chronicle with another. The trades coming back and forth, but still the attack have the time on their side, and with the salvos buying an extra few seconds at a peak, able to
Wait.
come from either side, but Kayak manages to land.
Nah, that's mental. Wait, that's disgusting, bro. That's crazy. They have no right winning it. They have no right winning that. That's nuts.
Man, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, that
one
was
of the main
sick.
things I'm worried about going back into that retake is the fact that Boaster was the one to fall. You lose your smokes. It was a great orbital strike by Boo. A little bit of desperation as well because he had the spike. He couldn't just go swinging through that smoke. So he uses that to buy time, to force a fight. And eliminating their smoker. I mean, imagine, they smoke main. They can defuse underneath their
bro.
nose. Instead, one man has to hold while the other defuses. Time was desperately close. Even one missed shot.
Milan's like, how the hell has he won that? It's hard from Heretics there because you're kind of conditioned to like playing time, but the time's gone so far that they should be double swinging, but it just doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel natural. They're still like in the mode of like you peak fast and I'll peak fast just because of the time. Dude, they're gonna steal 7? That's nuts. It's a really good half, by the way.
Already. Ultimate thrown in, both players hit. Woot just trying to survive at the back of the site, and they know exactly where he is, clinging desperately to life. There should be no way out of this round for the side of Heretics, with Boaster adding his third to the death toll, and eventually
Dude, that's a nice
we will
half
see
of Fnatic. They're gonna be
that
feeling
half
real
go
good about
in
this.
the direction
Dude, they got
of
Lotus
Fnatic.
as third
7-5,
map as
they'll
well.
keep the lead.
Lotus could be such a banger third map for them.
That's 5 out of 6 to close it out. Wonderful performance from Fnatic. Heretics
7. I mean, they won pistol. They just got ecoed after, right?
Let's hear from Mixwell and his thoughts on Team Heretics' incredible 2024 run.
Phoenix Fisher, hello mate, thank you for the 26 months. Thank you for that. Appreciate the tier 1.
Heretics in 2024 did an incredible run. You have to take into account that they had to change rosters all the time because they had problems with visas and Patitech was coming in and out, and still managed to
Map
get
is stressful,
second
yeah.
place in almost every event they played.
Cage smokes everyone.
It was a project for the long run that ended up being so successful that not even the organization was aware of their true potential. And after the finals of Champions, losing against EDG in that fashion, the players were devastated, of course. They were devastated, and coming back from that was hard. You could see it.
Agree that we need some trash talkers like Apex for entertainment?
Not in their
I mean,
best shape.
I think it's always entertaining.
Mentally, they were not there, and right now we're seeing them better than ever. I think Miniboo is
Better than
their
ever.
best Valorant,
Holy.
and the rest of the team is doing it as well. I think they recovered, and not winning last year, it's good for them because I think they never lost the fire to win, and I think it's their year. I think Team Heretics is going to win at least one international event for sure.
Okay. Best Nick, 44 with the Prime. Thanks so much for the 2 months, mate. Thank you for doing that as well. We got Jungle is rather large as well with the Prime. Thank you. And Chancelette also with the 29 months. Thanks for the tier 1.
Confidence building. We saw him get involved in a lot of those early fights. We need to see
that's
a little
rough.
bit of a
Rough
change
time
in
in
the
Chance.
wins. As Heretics, they were what? Was it 4?
Avid
1,
Armadillo
4,
as well with the
2?
tier 1. Thank you for the 3 months, mate. Thank you for that.
Fnatic managed to cling
Ivy, of
together
course,
a
dude. I think
lot of those
most
last
people my
rounds.
age are.
Yeah, I think Alfia having a great performance. I think a lot of the time when they've pushed into his defensive setups.
Vivid as well.
definitely
Hello,
struggle,
mate.
but now
Thank you for the Prime, bro.
it's a
Appreciate the
different
14
story.
months.
He's going to have to hold on to a lot of
And
those
Infinite
I think
as
we
well
saw
with the
that
tier 1.
a
Thank you
lot
for the
of
5
time
months,
Fnatic
mate.
were
Thank
just
you.
leaving either him or
Okay,
just Trip
we
to one
got...
side of the map and
Dude,
then
look
just
at this
going
though.
very
Like, that's a
directly
lot in a
for
row.
lot of
It
these
was a good
tanks.
recovery from Fnatic after getting eco'd.
We'll see how Heretics now co-playing their own composition against them. Of course, they've got
Where's the
very
raid boss, man? Where's
competent
the
Cypher of
pistol
their
god
own, and
himself?
You already see the setups being
You know
put
he's good
into
for
place
2, so...
to force back that A main control.
It is, though, a plan from Fnatic early, sending Crashies through to break that camera, leaving Alpha on north side, and now taking advantage of the
Don't
space.
cast.
They heard that A main crunch.
You guys still
They heard
believe
a
in
lot
the
of
cast? It's
utility, they heard
crazy.
steps, so they know there's
Choba got
space,
it
and
all.
Alpha has just walked out of heaven, taken down Voot with ease, and the B side open for the plants. Boaster gets a little too aggressive, punished for it, expecting a gap, and there certainly was not one there. But a 4v4 post plant for Fnatic as a
Thing is, you're
result.
now
The
expecting
camera
him to get
even
2,
spotting
chat. It's
this
unrealistic.
two-man north side push.
They'll probably
a
do it.
lot of information now for that attacking side to work with.
They managed to at least reclaim the ramp. And Alfia already picking off Benji. This is looking like a second pistol potentially going their way. They're going to have to have one of
There's
these
one.
fights going their way. And in fact, it's gone
Oh,
completely wrong for Ian
nice
Salt.
shots.
Never count him out the
Course,
salvos.
dude, it's
We'll
so
find that
annoying,
extra
man.
time.
Imagine how sick this
That's a
clip would have
bigger
been
issue.
without
He was
Teo
hoping
salvos.
Force Lines, and he's actually
2
clipped
people
it.
off
And then
plant.
aftershock as well. The two
Would've been
players you
sick.
didn't want to come up against in
I
the
mean,
post.
nicely done from
It's the
Fnatic. They play it well. They get a double pistol.
8 to
Everyone's
5.
in the correct positions for the
Fnatic
after plant.
extend their lead a
You always
little bit
gotta,
further.
you always gotta applaud and
They
give
do
them
have
that.
to win the second round.
Yes, exactly.
The arcade rap,
right.
yeah, they
Look
did
at the
really good, huh?
timeline when we get back in. It was the pistol round followed by a 3 consecutive round loss. Alfia playing such a huge role though in this round. The lurk up through north side, the camera to keep information late, the trap that allowed Kayak to sit in B main and not worry about his back. Unless someone was mad enough to take the ropes to cross, they could not be coming.
Maybe
from
learning
behind.
a
And
little
him being
bit. I'm
able to
not
focus
sure.
on that
They
fight
still have the 2
just puts another
deaths.
gun
But again, I
into the
don't mind
mix.
this on attack
They
is
had all
so
the
fine. It's
information,
the
they played
defense
off
stuff
it
that
perfectly. Heretics
doesn't
left
make
with
as
pistols,
much
and
sense.
Although they may be a strong squad when it comes to eco rounds, I don't think the Fnatic are going to make that same mistake twice.
No, they do still have the same amount of pistols, but it also means that they can afford a little bit of extra damage. That was close.
yeah, this one might be
Got a little
clean.
worried there, Tom.
Down
Give
to
Sky the
21,
regen
but
back. Dude, the Sky meta
immediately
is still
that
one of the
rifle
most
has
fun
been
though.
juggled over into Alfia's hands for the remainder. Again, it comes
I'm
down
not
to
sure what
just how
they're...
much
I
damage
think they
can
honestly
get.
might just
There's at
leave
least one for Miniboo, but
Teo and Sky as
anything
they
more
are.
from this stage, be a bit surprised.
And even then, as long as Crashies is the one going down or close enough to retrieve the weapon, it doesn't really matter. Miniboo
Why are
just
we
now
playing
seeing
this map?
it
I
was
mean,
only a
mate, they
ghost.
picked it.
that's left.
What do you
The benefit
what
of
do you
Kayak
mean?
being one of those players that will just juggle over the weapon. We've seen a lot of players, 20 HP, still swinging with the rifle, making that mistake, but the discipline on Fnatic, no surprise to see it. Hello. The orb a little more valuable to Chronicle. He'll get a chance for another. Potentially.
Yeah,
now
close.
the spike cuts it short. Luckily, Wu didn't go swinging.
It's out of rotation, yeah, but I mean we're 2 weeks behind.
Fnatic 9-5 now, converting that second round, unlike in the first half.
Yeah, and this is now where their map starts to get a little bit away from the side of Heretics needing to kick this defensive side off. Strong indeed. Now we go into those buy rounds, but that's the difference. Fnatic can now just invest straight back into this one. They didn't buy much.
Okay, Heretics.
Still going to be very good.
You
so
gotta
they come into
win this
round
one.
with equal, if not better, than what their opponents currently have on the other side.
Here we go, deep salvos. We've seen this to put the cam in place, but this time there's a drone following it up, stunned to slow. And a good thing too, because there was about to be a lot of aggression.
Dude, look
around
at this
corner.
Yuto
They now get
battle.
the idea, the relay ball
That is disgusting.
fired in from up close. Miniboo was looking to swing that corner. Was looking
The
to take that
DOMs,
fight,
the
but they've
DOMs
got
for the
the
tier 1.
ideas, a
Thank you
few
so
of the
much, man.
players
Appreciate that. Thank you, thank
waiting
you.
for them there. The Alpha. I don't think he's gonna
Miniboo, yeah, he's just kind of locked into this
destroying
area,
that utility,
trying to
putting
dodge
question marks
Yuto
into
behind the
play
man
for
in front of him.
defense. Could have its value. That orb
No one's
farm
close to
down
an
corner,
ult.
We saw him go aggressive.
Honestly, for a while
with
as
the
well.
Marshall looking for the picks early on. He's not far away from Rolling Thunder, but it won't be there for this round.
Caution here.
Almost the timing on Taboo, but
This is interesting because
they'll be held back.
supposed to put a smoke down here
It's gonna go back in the
to kind of create pressure
direction,
like
but it
they're
will
splitting,
leave
but
them
as we
with
can see, they just have full
limited
info.
amounts of time.
And they're
40
gonna
seconds left on the clock, and they've still
they're
got
gonna
an awful
realize
lot
that
of ground to
they
clear.
didn't do too
Timing
much,
here for Wu.
and that they should
Gonna
be
absolutely
expecting a stack
everything.
once
If
they
he
see
gets
this
pick, it
camera.
could be a problem, but Kayak has been
Hey, that's a
an
crazy
unstoppable
kill.
force so far in this map, and now just sells a ruse. You see the
Yeah,
aggression
question mark
going
created
through on
over
that
towards
top
here
side
as
of the
well. They
map.
know that they push down.
Making that realization,
In the
okay,
camera spot
they're
too,
going
so
to,
they know
hey,
that
let's
site's
start
clear. They don't
clearing
even
out
have to
the
clear
other side,
anywhere.
and now the smokes fall, and they are nowhere to be
It's a
seen.
really good
They already
round.
got rid of that
It's a
camera
really
early
good
on,
round
inside
from
B main,
Fnatic.
So it's not to be worried about. Rien's dealt with. He was already so desperately low. Boo ahead of the curve, but Chronicle
Great calling on
still
this one.
picks him
It's
up.
made it a
Now
little bit
just
easier
one
by
away from
Kayak
Rolling
hitting
Thunder,
that shot,
and
but it
one
was still
kick
really
away
good.
from putting double digits on the board. There's Rolling Thunder online, one way or another. And Miniboo doesn't stand the greatest chance of taking this across the line. I don't know how far away
The DOMs
Crashies
with the
is
gifted.
from
Thank
those
you so much, bro. I
salvos,
appreciate
but I
that.
think
Thank
they'll
you,
be
thank you.
online fairly soon, even as Miniboo continues to chip away at this task. It's like Atlas, it will never end. Certainly not in his favor. As the players continue to be picked off, salvos come online, time keeps ticking, and it's still not halfway. Beautifully played.
Wonder what the,
no matter how strong
wonder what the
Miniboo is
after
in
plant-
those fights, Fnatic
Like
had
once
all
people
they needed
actually got
to
good
put
with Teo,
10 to
I wonder what
5
the
on
after
scoreboard.
plant
You can
win
kinda see why those
win
nerves
rate
are
was
coming.
like.
A little bit, a little bit.
The
feel like it
amount
got
of
way
sort
too
of
high.
time that could just be bought on the clock by Crashies
Pleb
alone,
VT with the tier 1
this
as well.
is why
Thank you
might
so much for
look
the
at
10
him at
months
the
as
bottom
well.
of the
And
board right
Doya
now,
Boy
6
1 as well with the
and
Prime.
9
Thank
in
you so
terms
much
of
as well for that, mate.
the kill feed, but just the time he's able to buy, the space he's able to take, it just makes things so awkward for the remaining player. 10 rounds on the board. Of course, for Heretics, the story has been
Yeah,
for a while
I think
about
that's probably
second
it.
place curse. And you go back to stage 1 and
They're
stage
looking
2.
a little too good on
last
this
year.
map.
Well, the reason they never won it was because of this squad in front of them. Even if internationally they did better. Kayak, he definitely knows that there's a target to be had, and well,
This duel,
waiting for Rienz to make his
so good.
move. So aware
gonna say,
of
this
these
one is the
positions,
round.
and even under pressure, he's still landing the shots. Boo is all that's left.
Spike planted.
This rifle recovered.
I think he used the
Miniboo
new
managed to chip away at them
Teo
last time,
as
but
Killjoy mollies.
stopped
Mate, the
him.
new
It was the
Teo's
salvos.
dead,
And
man.
guess
Just
who's
don't pick
still
it.
online, still alive. Now, salvos aren't there just yet, but we've seen it. They'll be ticking away in the background and other players throwing themselves at this fight. Boo would have to root Crashies out first. He has found him and taken him down. Recovered the weapon for the magazine, finds his third, now it's down! No one!
Dude, that was
A few
that was kind of
shots
close.
away from an
You're talking in ranked, mate.
unbelievable
It's
clutch
done in
from
ranked as
Monster.
well, dude.
Pulls Fnatic across the line.
it's just pointless picking the
11
agent.
to 5, 4 rounds in a row, and Team Heretics calling a pause. They know that their chances of closing this map out of even competing here on Fracture are fading away round by round.
Yeah, no, it was an incredibly nice try from Boo, switching guns midway through, and well, the last man standing, Boaster, had to put him down to stop that.
Good job, boys. Very nice.
You saw the other potato that coaches alongside picking Teo in ranked.
6 round
Mini
streak
picked Teo in ranked?
for Fnatic on
Why?
their map choice.
I guarantee he lost.
Looking at that
There's
veto,
no way he
the
won that.
potential for a Haven
You're
to
just
be
gonna
picked
lose,
again.
man.
That could have been the choice of Heretics going into the next. They decided to switch things up, go for an icebox, maybe play the mind games. We'll see if that come back to bite them.
He forgot it was nerfed? Yeah,
The
okay, that
Fracture
makes
choice,
sense.
Not really that
And
much
he
of a
lost?
surprise.
Oh, okay, well,
Even though it was
honestly,
close versus Liquid, we saw the
I mean,
resilience, we saw
that's
the
justice
the
right
depth
there.
of what this Fnatic squad have on this map, and what you just look at the scoreboard right now. As said, you can talk about the impact of crashes without the kill feed, but everybody else is lighting up the kill feed. Boaster now, I think in the last series versus
Would you
Heretics
technically
managed
be able
just
to
15
report
kills
someone for
across 2
picking
maps.
Teo in
He's on
ranked?
13 right
Say
now.
that they're trolling?
I don't
Ooh.
think he's the major talking
You can
point.
try it.
Kayak, Chronicle, and Alpha
Depends, man.
all
Depends who
having
you
one hell
get.
of a game.
Yeah, Alpha's
I think that's
first
worth a
half
try.
was unbelievable. I think you can't take
See
anything
if they
away
get
from them
banned.
when it comes to that second. Oh, here's a great stat
I would
as well,
go for
backing
it.
that up. In their last match, Kayak won 80% of opening duels against Miniboo. Like, unbelievable to see this guy go head-to-head with a player that many in the world have learned to fear. But he does seem to be his kryptonite. 11 rounds on the board for Fnatic, and something has got to change for Heretics. They've got ultimates, Rolling Thunder, and Orbital Strike coming into this round. And on attack side, that can be used to great effect to take space and deny in that post plan. Here
When
in
are we
the
allowed to
defense,
throw the
you've gotta have
the
players
4
left
frauds
alive,
off the
right?
train?
And
Made
Fnatic
that
have been so
they're not
good
even
at
anywhere near the
pushing
train.
and pulling
We
this
can't throw them
map
off.
that Heretics can't
The
feel
train's like
certain
a
of.
little
One
dot
piece
in the
of
distance
contact,
to them.
they
That's
can
it.
throw
They can't see
everything at
it.
It's a little harder to find the space to use it.
It left him.
Got the camouflage cam.
Left him for dust, man. It's
On the other
gone.
side, you've got the aggressive peak coming up, but Woot's definitely been having a struggle so far on this Teo. Someone we know that normally individually sound has not won a lot of these opening fights, but will take Boaster out. The orbital strike gone, and so are the smokes.
Hasn't deterred them. Salvos force players to the open, the smoke shielding them for now.
Well, might
Alpha
just
Gear
have to
picked
accept
off
this
going
one
up
wasn't
into
great
heaven,
from
and
Fnatic.
well,
Hey, they got an
even
ult
Orbital
out.
Strike
You got an
committed.
extra ult out of them.
5 versus 3,
They'll take that. That's where you
25
know that
seconds on the
Heretics
clock
just
when
need
that
to try and
ult is
get
taken out.
any kind of round
A little
here.
surprised. The respect being
keep it
shown,
clean.
perhaps for good reason, but they dropped Kayak right away. 10 seconds. Salvos to deny, and the round is already done. If this spike makes it down, I will be very surprised indeed. And I suppose
still
it
did
does make it
okay
down onto
damage,
the floor,
but-
not planted. Chronicle to save his weapon, and a round back for Heretics.
Yeah, clearly feeling the pressure a little bit. The orbital strike, I think, just utilized to make sure that the round is confirmed. But I also think with other ultimates online and coming online, just making sure that the cycle of those ults is going to be further in that
Boaster,
favor.
yeah, as soon as Boaster goes down here
I
in
think
the
most
round's
important
done.
thing was just the start.
You
Woot being
can't
able
lose
to
smokes.
hold it down,
And if you're
deny
gonna lose
closer
smokes like
space.
this, the Neon has to go aim in.
Just having those quick rotations back in onto the site. It's the combo breaker. The 6-round streak ends before it hits 7. But there needs to be a whole lot more for Heretics to make me believe in this map at least.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but they're about to get most of their ults.
A whole lot more indeed.
There's gonna be like one ult round that if
Both
somehow
players got a
Heretics
pistol.
win it, then
It is
it's
Kayak.
gonna get close.
You check that ultimate. You look at the value found in the last half. Certainly far from an easy round. Trap already destroyed. Benji will be under pressure anytime now. An ultimate put into play. Kayak on his way straight through. There it is activated. But Miniboo's the first to draw blood. It's Benji under the pressure as predicted. Miniboo to fall as well. Numbers kept even, but the attack side has space. Rolling Thunder keeps the spike in the defender's hands. They've got it dropped in towards main for now, but Alpha Air with a quick double puts this one to bed, smoking off the spike and
What are you meant to do, man?
Nose.
What are you
And
meant to do?
now
He's just better.
a 1 versus 3. A big play coming in as well. Down below, you can see that Alpha is lurking, making his way around to close
Alpha,
this
yeah.
out from behind.
The
Rien's
funny thing
worried
with
about the
Alpha
players
is
in
you
main.
know that
Now he's
he
got an idea,
you know he
though.
hates playing the
Alpha hits
Cypher.
shot anyways,
But their win rate
returning
is so good when he plays like heavy Sentinel.
Double the rounds of their opponent, just
So he just has to accept it.
Yeah, he's had so many high impact rounds throughout
He's
this
just too
matchup
good.
so far. Took
Just
his
too good on
teammates
Sentinel.
to sort of get him into position, but then just swings versus two.
He just wants to play Angels, yeah. But you do get a good amount. It's just you got to wait a little bit longer for them.
Esports, when Althea is in form, there's not always a lot.
I mean, this was dominant, and I know it was a 2-0 pistol,
Heretics,
but they did get eco'd, so
you've got an operator alongside ultimate for
like
Mini,
Fnatic still had a bad start too. That's nuts.
He's dead immediately. Althea again
If
with
Alpha's gonna play like this, man.
I was saying earlier, you can't take anything away from him. His utility so important here on the attack, but now he's starting to claim a name for himself with the gun in hand. I think just one behind Kayak. In terms of frags, Mike just matched up there. Benji down on the ground, and the dominoes all falling in favor of Fnatic. Boo! Even lost on that south side push. There's almost nothing to fall back on here. They've at least dealt with Alpha here, but let's be honest, there's very little when it comes to weakness here on the Fnatic side. I think Boaster won away.
Oh god, they missed time in the flash as well. Oh no, he flashed a little bit more. He flashed a little bit more to the left than Reign's fought. Dude, they wrecked them. They actually wrecked them, like way better on buy rounds.
Display from them. The attack almost flawless and a stellar defense.